Hello, everybody. Welcome back to An Honest Thoughts. In so long, if you don't remember these are basically just me giving my unfiltered opinions on something that I have recently seen and talking about it. But today, it's going to be another collaboration with my best friend, creator of Battle Mode, and overall beautiful sweetheart, DuoDreamer.
Hey, how you guys doing? Sweetheart, really?
Well, you are.
I try.
Yeah, you try. But yeah, so we're gonna talk about briefly, not too long. This isn't gonna be a too long discussion, but we're gonna talk about our thoughts on the Batman: The Long Halloween Part One trailer. This is a highly anticipated DC animated film, and it's based off of the, of course, legendary graphic novel that ran from 1996 to 1997, and it's just one of those graphic novels that fans have been demanding be turned into a DC animated film, very much like The Killing Joke, The Dark Knight Returns, and Batman Hush. So it's finally good that we're getting it.
Right, right. In my opinion, when it comes to DC animated movies, I think Warner Brothers do an awesome job. They do a wonderful job. And it gives me a chance to know about these different types of graphic novels that DC has made, and they bring it to life into animation. So I'm looking forward to know about this story arc and see where it goes from there.
Yeah, no. And on my side, I'm looking forward to seeing how they adapt this iconic story because if you guys haven't read the graphic novel, the trailer pretty much gave you everything you needed to know. Is that Batman, Harvey Dent, and Commissioner, I'm sorry, not Commissioner, James Gordon are trying to catch a killer that kills on holidays and is going after Carmine Falcone's gang. And it's just a matter of, okay, who is this holiday killer and can they stop him before he commits his next crime? So it's a mystery story, and I'm starting to think that that's why most of the Batman movies are successful, because Batman is a pulp noirish character, and having him solve mysteries is kind of the most important part of his animated films, because you had Mask of the Phantasm, you had Under the Red Hood, you had Hush, and now you have this, all about who are these killers that are going after uh these criminals, and how can Batman stop them?
Right. And knowing Batman, even though he does want to stop criminals, he at the same time he doesn't want to kill criminals. So if there's a vigilante that's actually being like the Punisher, he wants it to stop. Knowing Batman.
Yes, absolutely. And really just going off of the trailer, which I gotta say, I know I first of all, I know a lot of people are disappointed with the animation style because uh, it's not directly adapting the Tim Sale art style, which I can understand that, but at the same time, I feel like, okay, if you look at the original graphic novel, Tim Sale's art style is very over exaggerated, like really big body proportions and just these great colors, making it feel like a noir story. I don't really think that they are capable of capturing that, because the thing with these DC movies is that they do have a very low budget, and they have to find a way to work around bringing the graphic novel they're adapting to life. So that's why they are choosing, I guess, what is now being dubbed the Man of Tomorrow art style, because this is
Right.
using that same animation, and so is Justice League. I'm sorry, not Justice League. Justice. of Society.
Society.
Yeah, Justice of Society World War II.
Right.
Um, but just in my opinion alone, just looking at the, because I've watched this like 50 times, I think it works better here than it did in Man of Tomorrow because there's
Hmm.
just so much popping off on the screen, and because Batman is a dark character, I think it just blends well. Whereas with Superman or the Justice Society, they're very much bright characters. You know, they have to
Right.
be upfront, they have to be upbeat, and they have to just pull off or show, give this sort of bright iconography. Whereas with Batman, you know, he's a dark character, so naturally the animation style needs to reflect that.
Most definitely. And I think also they want to go with a new animation because seems that they pretty much finished the Flashpoint story arc. Um, and it had a lot of movies tie in with that. I think they want to separate that from the other movies because most of us are so used to that style because not everyone loved that arc, but I did. I was a fan of it. I was fan of the animation style of it, with all the Son of Batman, Batman versus Robin, and
Yeah.
even Teen Titans ones. Like which story arc I'm talking about, right?
Oh yeah, yeah, I do. Yeah, most
Yeah.
definitely.
So I think they wanted to go with a different direction just to keep that separate. Seems they pretty much end it finally, So, but I have watched Superman Man of Tomorrow. I've actually liked that animation too. Like it like you were saying pops out like you can see the outlines are a little bit darker around the characters, and I'm looking forward to seeing how this plays out for Halloween
Yeah, Long Halloween.
long Halloween, excuse me.
It's okay. Yeah, no, me too. And one of the things that I know a lot of people were mainly concerned about is how would Batman and Joker's design from the comic book translate? Because once again, if you go and just look at a random picture of the original art style, like Batman is very muscular. Like the body proportions are very exaggerated, his ears are
Right.
very long. The utility belt has pouches. He
Mm.
looks like he just looks like this human being. He doesn't look like a normal human being, which that is Batman. And the Joker has this exaggerated long jaw with piano-like teeth. Like his teeth are look like piano keys, and it's very
Right.
freaky. And seeing what they did here, that obviously they chose to kind of dial that back because again, you know, they have to keep it simple. They can't really go over the top with it. But I think they did a great job with Batman's look. I very much like that. Okay, it's the classic black and gray costume. You can clearly see that he does have pouches on his belt,
Right.
and the ears are not overly long, but they're not short. So I like that. And the Joker
Right.
also looks good. He kind of does still have the piano like teeth, but they now look a little smaller. So they kind of look like dominoes in a way. But yeah, no, I'm well, they do. It's like, but I am looking forward to seeing how this animation plays out because again, just seeing it in action, it's very much almost anime like with how smooth and how fluid it is, and just
Right.
seeing it, like just seeing a still image of it, it looks like it could be an anime wallpaper.
Right.
So
Yeah,
yeah.
I see it that way too. I see it that way with this animation. And again, I'm looking forward to see what they have in store. I'm more interested about the story itself. I have an idea who might the villain might be, but we'll talk about that later. But
Yeah, no, most definitely. I can't wait to talk about that either. But let's transition over to the voice cast because holy crap, this first part, and again, this is only part one. They are taking the Dark Knight Returns and Death of Superman slash Reign of Superman route by splitting this up into two parts because this was originally 12 issues, and I'm so
Wow.
happy that yeah, I know, 12 issues. So naturally it's not going to be able to be a one and done. You cannot convey all of 12 issues in just one sitting, especially since these movies do not go over 2 hours long. They very much try and keep it an hour and a half. So I like now that, okay, with part one, they're going to mainly do the first couple of issues, and then with part two, they'll end it off. So yeah, very, very good thing. But this voice cast, man, they've got an all-star talent, but the main one, and I think the guy who has been getting the most attention, who is essentially the MVP of this trailer, is Batman himself, who is voiced
Right.
by Jensen Ackles, who some of you may know as Dean Winchester from Supernatural, or as Duo didn't know, Jason Todd, aka Red Hood, from Under the Red Hood, the animated film.
Wow.
The
And
Yeah,
I remember his performance as the Red Hood or Jason Todd, and it was just breathtaking. I've always like, if you ever seen my TikTok, I reenact one of his scenes where he was like very upset that Batman left Joker alive. Like that one dialogue that was like the definitive moment of that whole movie. And I always like going back to seeing that, just them talking about, like his morality and stuff like that. But I was shocked when you told me that he was going to be voicing Batman. So it's kind of like, say, like Robin becoming Batman or something like that, or Red Hood becoming the Batman.
yeah, no, it is kind of meta that he is voicing Batman, and I gotta say, like, it is kind of long overdue because, yeah, I actually rewatched the Red Hood animated film because I know people were gonna make comparisons to his Jason performance, so. But I gotta say, yeah, no, there are no comparisons. It's very much night and day with the Jason voice because he was voicing a broken Jason who is very much in his early 20s. He sounds like he is a young man who has been to hell and back, and he very much has a high pitch because that's the one great thing about Jensen Ackles is aside from being a great live action actor, he's also a great voice actor. He knows how to pitch his voice in a way that doesn't make him sound like he's new or terrible at voice acting. He knows how to convey a scene as if he's doing it on a set. So I very much like that. And yeah, no, and here it's very low, it's very monotone, and it sounds like, okay, it doesn't sound overly gravy. Like there's no smoke in there, like Bruce Greenwood or Kevin Conroy. Because
Mhm.
another thing I forgot to mention is that The Long Halloween, is a direct sequel to Batman Year One. This is still within that timeline of a younger Batman who hasn't been doing this for very long. So I like how Jensen uh, gives him that young voice. Like he's still very much young, and he's only been doing this for I guess now 2, 3 years at tops, and
Mm.
he sounds so good as Batman, but I'm really looking forward to hearing his Bruce Wayne because it's easy to do a Batman voice, but really what I want to hear from him is his Bruce Wayne because again, Bruce Wayne is the mask of Batman. So I am just
Exactly. Exactly. Because I always said this about like any performance, whether it's live action or voice acting. I want to see how well the actors are going to play. Because in a way, Bruce Wayne and Batman are like two different characters, and you want to be able to distinguish both of them. Like you want to be able to tell the difference when they talk. You know what I mean? Or the way they act.
exactly.
So I'm looking forward to see how his Bruce Wayne is too. You know, if it becomes like, like say a George Clooney type performance where pretty much you see both Bruce Wayne and Batman in the same, like you see him in even in his outfit as Batman, you still see Bruce Wayne. I want to see an actor where like I don't see Bruce Wayne when they're playing Batman. You get what I'm saying? Like it's like they're totally different people,
Yeah,
and that's what I want to look for.
yeah, exactly. That's what I look for as well. Like, you want to see Batman because Bruce Wayne is the facade, Batman is his real self. And just in the one little scene we got where he's talking to Alfred, that you do get a little sneak peek of his Bruce Wayne. Like, now his voice is a little bit lighter. It's not that low, but it still sounds like, okay, he doesn't have the answers and he's trying to figure out who this killer is. So this is very much pushing him to his detective limits. And yeah, no, I can't
Right.
wait either. I think Jensen is going to be carrying this whole film on his back as Batman, and I really hope that if these movies sell well, that they will consider bringing him back, because that's the thing about Batman, is that as much as we all prefer Kevin Conroy, he's not getting any younger, and
Yeah.
Batman doesn't have one definitive voice. He can have many voices. So I really hope that
Right.
Jensen becomes a part of that rotating door where they think of a script and then they're like, okay, I know who I gotta get. I gotta get Jensen back.
Right.
Yeah.
Most definitely. I agree. And I
Yes.
also understand why they have Jensen play the role because is he kind of younger in a way?
Yeah. He's like he's in his early 40s.
Okay. So like especially when he played Jason Todd, it makes sense, especially with the timeline that it's this movie's taking place where it's like maybe 2 or 3 years after his first year, after year one as Batman. So you're gonna have to have a younger voice to play that character. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, most definitely. And I like it. I do. I very much am excited they got him, and just now it's a matter of patience to see whether or not he will do a great job of carrying these movies, but I do believe he will, because again, he's a very experienced actor, and like I said, he's just as good, if not a better voice actor.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we also have a lot of characters. We have the late Nayla River from Glee fame, who sadly passed away last year. This was her final project that she worked on.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, yeah, I know. And she will be playing Catwoman, Selena Kyle. And
Hmm.
and I know right off, Selena Kyle is very much a easy person to she's a very easy voice, but at the same time her emotions are very hard to convey, because Selena Kyle is someone who lives life on the edge. She's neither a hero, she's neither a villain. She very much is out for her own interest. But the main thing that keeps her from going full villain is Batman and their relationship
Yeah.
that they have with each other. And
Hmm.
unfortunately, it is a shame that we don't get to hear more of her. We only get to hear like one or two lines from her, but already I think she does offer up some promise as Selena Kyle. And again, it is such a shame that we lost her, and that this is going to be the first Catwoman performance that was done before the actor playing Catwoman passed away.
Right. Which is sad.
It
It's
is.
very sad.
It's very sad. And we also have Josh Dummel, who is best known for playing the main commando in the Michael Bay Transformers movies, like just the first three. Like, he was the main guy.
Mhm.
He is playing Harvey Dent, Two Face.
Ooh, nice.
Yes. And really, truth be told, maybe I haven't seen him in a while. I haven't heard him in a while, but he sounds very good as Harvey Dent. Really great. And the thing about Harvey is that this is, if you can tell, this is mainly a Batman, Harvey, and Jim Gordon story. Like this is about the three of them. They're at the center focus of this film. So Harvey will have a big role to play in this movie. And what I really like that they're kind of altering, is that Harvey in the original graphic novel, he's somebody who's already on the edge, but he hasn't been pushed off of it. Like, he doesn't care for Bruce Wayne. He looks at Bruce Wayne and sees this rich society guy who doesn't know what uh it's like to go through hard work and labor despite Bruce Wayne funding his campaign and legitimately seeing him as a friend. Like, he's more close with Batman, and he kind of
Right,
despises Bruce Wayne, and he's willing to go to any lengths to be able to solve this case. Like, really, it's testing him until he becomes Two Face. And again, fun fact: this this original graphic novel does, it is the original, it does depict the first time he does become Two-Face, where he gets acid thrown on his face. So
right.
I'm really looking forward to Josh's performance in this. I again, just knowing what kind of role Two-Face will bring, it just gets me
Right.
very excited.
I was always used to knowing that Bruce Wayne and Harvey Dent were like the best of friends. Maybe it was just because it was in the animated series.
Yeah.
But what you told me is like whoa, I never knew that Harvey Dent kind of despises Bruce Wayne in some shape or form, but it makes sense, because like with Harvey Dent, he works very hard, and when he looks at people like Bruce Wayne, it's like, you were born with a silver spoon in your mouth. You don't know what it's like to like work hard and stuff, and we all know that Harvey Dent does work very hard to get what he wants to accomplish, but yeah, it's just a big surprise to me to know that in like say actual comics that they weren't really the best of us.
Yeah, no, most definitely. And I love what this trailer is doing. I love what this movie is doing better than the comic because, again, instead of you seeing constantly Harvey for being that close to the edge, here he's getting one step forward to it. Like, he has to decide, like, does he want to bring down Carmine Falcone by setting fire to this money that he has laundered? Like, does he want to toe the line that Batman does? And I like
Mhm.
that we're going to see him step by step lose himself in this case.
Right.
And we also have Billy Burke, who I have not seen play James Gordon, and James Gordon also has a big role in this film, as I said, and really, um, this is going to be a big test for Jim because he is kind of the one person who is trying to still stay within the rules and the law because he believes it can be good. Like, he even in this the original graphic novel, when he makes this pact with Batman and Harvey, he will let them bend the rules, but they can't break it. And he's kind of the voice of reason. He's the optimist, and he's also very much going through his own issues. He's still trying to have that relationship with his wife Barbara and raising their
Mhm.
son from their eventual falling out that they had in year one, where he cheated on her.
Yeah.
Like, it's very good. So Jim Gordon really is going to go through a lot in this film, and I like that he's going to be the one that kind of grounds Batman and Harvey Dent.
Right. Right. I mean, it's always good to have, movies that center around Gordon because in a way there are still mysteries about Gordon that we really want to get to know. You know what I mean? And it's always good to see some kind of media that focuses on him. for a
Exactly.
change. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
I
Exactly.
mean, granted, we have like we had year one, and we have like shows like Gotham where they do center around him a bit, but at the same time, it's like I like to know more about him, and what he does and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So
No,
I'm
yeah.
I'm actually glad that they're doing. I'm actually glad they're gonna explore more about him.
Me
Not
too.
just like the guy that switches on uh the bat signal and talk to Batman saying this is happening, and then turns around and he's gone.
Yeah,
There's a
exactly.
lot of layers to him that I like to know more about James
Exactly.
Gordon.
Exactly. Yes. And then of course we have Troy Baker, who I think a lot of you know as Joel from The Last of Us, and Joker. He will be reprising his role as Joker for this
Awesome.
movie. Yeah, yeah, no. And that kind of gets me a little mixed because on the one hand, yes, I do think he is a great Joker, but on the other hand, again, I very much just hear a younger Mark Hamill, which can be a good and a bad thing, but he
Mhm.
will and the DVD and the Blu-ray cover has already kind of slightly given away that because in the original comic he didn't have a big role to play. Like he was just another villain that Batman had to go after. And it looks like in this film they'll still be keeping that, but at the same time, I think they'll be stretching out his thing with Batman because again, it's understandable that okay, it's Batman and the Joker. Like they can't it just can't be a one and done kind of thing. Like you
It
need
it is a attention grabber
yeah, yeah.
for DC fans. Like some people like to see a Batman with the Joker, and sometimes when there's no Joker with the Batman, it's kind of like I hope there's a better villain that would complement Batman's appearance. But again, like if you put Joker and Batman in the marquee of anything, it's gonna sell.
Absolutely, absolutely. And then finally, the main one that I wanted to go over, we have Alistair Duncan reprising his role as Alfred. He played
Mm,
Alfred in the Batman cartoon way back in the early 2000s.
right.
Yeah, it's great to hear him back again as Alfred. I really loved his Alfred. I kind of hated that after the Batman cartoon ended. He went away in Batman obscurity, but then he got to come back and play him in the Batman Unlimited movies. And now he's playing him
Mm,
again here, so it's really cool. And again, unfortunately, we don't get a lot of him. But Alfred also he's not just going to be sitting around being there to give Bruce advice. I mean, he does, but he does actually have a somewhat slightly more bigger role without giving too much away, but he is still there for Bruce and he's there to just give him advice and whatnot, but I very much like the relationship that they have.
mm.
So
Yeah, I agree.
yeah, so yeah, that is it for the voice cast, the ones that I wanted to mainly go over in the trailer. So yeah, now
Mm,
let's talk about the villain because again, that's the great thing about this graphic novel and now this two-part movie is who is this holiday killer? Like who is the one going against the Falcons and taking his people out and who is he? Like who is he? Like there are in the original comic there are actually a lot of people figuring out who they think it is, and I really hope I think this movie is going to do a good job of conveying that because again it's very much a mystery story, it's a thriller, and I think that's the best kind of Batman movie you could get.
right. Definitely. But can I make it a hypothesis of
Yeah,
what I
yeah,
think it
yeah,
might
go
be?
ahead.
I don't know. After watching the trailer, and there was a character I saw that kind of reminds me of this particular villain, especially when it comes to talking about holidays. They kill someone during holidays. I have a big feeling it has to do with Calendar Man.
Yeah, no. Calendar Man, yeah, who he will also have a big role in this film. He's not just going to be a cameo. He'll actually be advising. He, yeah,
Oh, damn.
like he'll be sort of he'll be giving off hints to Batman and Jim Gordon on the identity of Holiday because of his expertise. He already knows who Holiday is, but the thing is, he is just kind of dancing around it. Like he pretty much says it could be a he, could be a she, it could be this person, it could be that person. So really, he's already figured out who the killer is.
Right. Interesting.
Yeah,
No, it's just that I saw him in the trailer, and I'm thinking like it has to be him. It has to be, but now that you're telling me that, he's just being like an advice, kind of like a Hannibal Lecter in Silence of the Lambs, just talking about the criminal that people are trying to find. Now I'm curious to see who is Holiday. I'm
yeah,
wondering who is
no.
the Holiday killer.
Yeah, no, and again, the original graphic novel does a great job. It gives you so many leads. It gives you so many people that could be it. And really, at the end of the day, when we do find out who Holiday is, it's kind of just like something you expected, but at the same time, there's another twist to it because again, I without giving too much away, the simple answer isn't always the exact one. There are so many twists and
Right.
turns with this, and that's what I'm really hoping that they do a good job of adapting into this movie. Is like they don't just make it one person because again, um, there it could be anybody. Like it could be anybody. There could even be multiple holiday killers, and whoever is confirmed to be holiday, it might not necessarily be the right one. It's the one that they think it is, but in the end, it's all like, okay, it's like no, it's like they're like that they were just a patsy.
Right, right. And what's so hard now is that it's just this is the first part, and we're not gonna
Yes,
know until probably I don't know how many parts they're gonna do this. I don't know. I hope it's just two parts, but
it
if
is.
they're
It's
gonna do three, if they're just gonna do like three parts, I'll be like, oh come on, stop teasing us.
yeah, no. It will just be two parts. Part one, which they have confirmed, will drop on Blu-ray, both and digital, June 22nd. So less than 2 months. We've got less than 2 months until part one comes out, and then part two will drop sometime in late summer, early fall, if I remember correctly. So the gap is going to be very much, it's going to be hard because we're like, like I want to find out what happened. So, and really, as somebody who also has read, I am curious to see if they will end off like like if they just do the first 4 or 5 issues and then they end it right there and then they pick up in part two by doing the last remaining issues. So really, I'm just curious to see how the pace of this is going to go because again, I don't think this needs to be rushed. I think the pacing needs to be slow, it needs to be steady, and it just needs to show you how this trio has come together and they're just trying to figure out who in the hell is this killer and how can they stop him before he commits something even worse. And even the villains will kind of serve a larger role in this movie. Like they're not just there to just be there. No, they will have something to do. They will be there to kind of keep Batman on his toes. And really,
Right,
it's just this movie is just going to push Batman, this young Batman, to his limits and make him question like everything, like really everything, when it comes to this killer and like who can he trust, who can he not trust, like, and you really see him go on a darker path because they did mention in the trailer there was a quick line where this criminal was all like, "I thought you didn't hurt people," and Batman's just like, "Oh,
Yep.
you thought wrong," and it's like, okay, that's what he's gonna be doing. Like, it's gonna be pushing him that hard to where he wants to stop this, and he's even considering going more brutal on criminals to find out what he needs.
Right. Definitely. And it makes sense. It kind of like, he's finding his bearings of who he is as Batman right now. You know what I mean?
Yes.
A- As compared to like an older and wiser Batman, where we know that he can restrain himself. But right now, it's showing his somewhat inexperience right now of being Batman, and that's what I like when I see these early years of Batman. I always like seeing those things which show his inexperience.
Yeah, me too. No, I love it as well, and these are the type of stories that really make a Batman movie because again, there can be original Batman movies like Batman Soul of the Dragon, but really Batman is a noirish character. He's a detective, and you need to
Right.
have him solve a story to where it pushes him to his limits. And really now the only question is this movie going to not only live up to the hype that the graphic novel bestilled? Because again, this is one of the most iconic. This is like to 90s kids like me, this is our Dark Knight Returns. And really, it's just now going to be a matter of okay, can this do the comic justice? And really, most importantly, can this be the next Under the Red Hood? Because we have had good DC films. We've had good DC films, but we haven't had great DC animated films like Under the Red Hood. And I really am hoping that this two-parter can be that. Like, this can now be the new standard for future DC animated films. Like, this is the new high bar, and it inspires them to go because, again, I like how we're starting over with the animated films, but we need a great one. We don't just need a good one.
I agree. I definitely agree with that. Like we want like some kind of a
Yeah, no,
each generation of the animation have like has a centerpiece, and I guess with this new generation, we need a new centerpiece.
exactly. Yes, we need a new foundation. And really, I have faith in the director. I have faith in the writer that they will be able to do that. I think they will because really they are again, you can tell by everyone in this trailer that they are huge fans of Batman. They respect this character. They don't just like him. They're not just doing this for a paycheck. No, they really are invested in this character, this his world, and really doing him justice. And again, it's kind of hard to have a bad Batman animated film. I mean, there have been one or two misses, but really, when it comes to Batman animated films, DC always puts the top people on it because they don't want anything less than a great film. They want this to make
Exactly.
money.
Right. I
Um,
agree.
yeah, so yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Those are our thoughts on Batman the Long Halloween Part 1. Like we are very excited. Like like I know Duo is excited because he's now he's going to be essentially like the rest of the audience who haven't read the graphic novel. He's going to be trying he's excited to figure out just who is this killer and seeing how this is going to push Batman and Harvey Dent and Jim. And I'm excited as somebody who has read the graphic novel to just see, okay, how well did they adapt this and what do they change? Because again, like you don't have to do a one-to-one adaptation. I very much like it when these movies uh add their own little originality in there as well. So I am very excited to see. And I think the main thing I'm excited for, I'm just excited to see Jensen Ackles be Batman because again, he is somebody who has come up the ranks of WB and now he finally gets to be Batman. and I can't think of a person who deserves it more than him, because he's been on Supernatural for, for 15 years. He was Red Hood, and here he is. He's Batman.
Yep, most
Uh,
definitely.
yeah, no. So yeah, guys, that's about it. Let us know what you guys think down below, and are you excited to see this as well? And really, I can't. Again, I will definitely review this, and I would definitely, and I'm definitely just looking forward to owning it in my collection.
Same here. I got
This,
like almost all of them,
yeah,
so
yeah, you do.
I want to keep it. I want to keep it going. You know.
Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah. All right, guys. Well, that's about it for now. We're going to go ahead and sign off, and hopefully, the honest thoughts will come back again. So, yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching. Subscribe, like, comment, and go check out Duo's channel. I mean, most of you already have, but, just go watch an episode of Battle Mode. Go watch his Death Battle reactions.
Yes. Thank you. Thank
No,
you.
no problem. All right, guys. We'll see you later.
All right. Always dream big, guys.
Later, guys.